The land you are standing on now, the trees, the ocean, everything about Manasquan belonged to the Lenni Lenape. Not because they owned it, not because this was their private property, but because they loved this land. They were the keepers of this land. They celebrated this land. This was their home. There's nothing left to show about what they did for this land, what they did for Manasquan, because we have allowed it all to just fade away. There has to be something done, just something we can do to acknowledge the fact that they mattered. I'm working on a book now about the Lenni Lenape, which goes into everything I talked about today, as well as other stuff I didn't mention about their Lenape history and culture. I really hope that many of you enjoyed my speech, and I want to thank you all for your attention towards it. Does anybody have any questions?
Do we have any idea of how many generations of families there were that lived as the Lenape did before the British and Dutch arrived? Do we have any idea how many generations that might have been, or hundreds, or?
Well, if you're asking how long they've been here, at least 10,000 years they've existed on this land.
Where are they now? You said they're on one of the smallest and poorest reservations. Where are they located now? Scattered still?
If you're talking about the Lakota Indians, they're still in the Black Hills area. There's a reservation close to Mount Rushmore and the Black Hills where the Lakota are established right now. If you're talking about the Lenape Indians, they're just spread out everywhere because they all scattered and there wasn't really a movement of many. They just kind of scattered over time. However, there are still places in New Jersey where there are unofficial and some official Lenni Lenape still left, like the Nanticoke are still in New Jersey, and the Sandhills are unofficial, but they're here.
There's a reservation near, oh, here we go again.
Good show, Grandpa.
Due west of here, there's a colony of Indians, I believe. I passed by it. They said a reservation. I forget what the name was. It's been 3 years since I've been there.
Yes.
No.
I know there are.
Yeah, Rancocas. That's right, Rancocas. That's where I played golf there, and there was a reservation out there.
Yeah, there's some still in New Jersey, some settled in different parts of New Jersey. But, anybody else?
Question?
Has there been any archaeology done in town?
I know close to here, Turkey Swamp was an excavation that they did, and they found a lot of ancient.
In Brielle, they have a rock where they did an archaeological kind of dig or whatever, and there was a settlement there. I guess they were tied in with Manasquan people.
We have a display of some Indian artifacts in here on the credenza. Other questions?
If there's no more questions, I'd like to call out.
I want to say what a pleasure it was to work with her. Now, she has some family here. I want to introduce her grandmother, Dolores, her grandfather Charles, her mother Sue, her father Mike Jr. in the back, and we have some aunts and uncles. We have Lynn and Donna and Colleen and Glenn.
Right. Yes.
Aunts and uncles.
Wow.
And now I'd like, if you could come up, Sue, and you could come up, Mike, for a second. And Mr. Dunn, you have the floor.
We'll get a photographer ready to give us. And Molly would like to present you with a letter of thanks and commendation and a year's membership in the Historical Society. A wonderful job.
Good job, Molly.
This is I think a wonderful example of how we can better utilize our own local resources, like the museum, the information, and the people that are in town, that are still in town and have some knowledge of our history. And one of the things that we're striving to put a plan together for the Historical Society for the future is how do we capture, both through oral histories and video histories, the knowledge that some of our people have in the community, and not just Manasquan, but in the community is, from Manasquan River up to Belmar, as far as I'm concerned. So if anyone has any ideas or interested in joining us in some of these endeavors, we'd like to see you back. We have some refreshments, and so please join us. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
3, 2, 1.